Hi everyone, this is Marty with Pezadoodle. Welcome to our very first Imagine This Friday, and I'm just going to go through little quick tutorials and lessons with you on the Cricut Imagine for those that have one or are thinking about getting one. And we're going to start today. These are the cartridges. They are different than the traditional cartridges. You can see they're a different shape, they're a different size. And the one we're going to work with today, Yummy, is an art cartridge as opposed to the color and pattern cartridges. Now, art cartridges have more content, so they're more expensive, and that's how you'll know the difference, or that's the reason behind it. You can see up here there's some little pictures, but when you open the booklet, these are much smaller than what you're used to getting, but you'll see all of the different art images. This is the whole image, and then it shows you the way that this image would be broken into layers. So for those of you that have thought that you can only print flat one-dimensional images, that is just not the case. You can actually do layers just like you can do in a regular Cricut. So this gives you an idea. Now, in addition to that, what you also get as you scroll through, there will be some bonus content. It's this page here, as well as some icons. There's these, some pretty flourishes. You've got some really cool borders. Now these are bits and pieces or different layers from some of the images that are in the art section. But then my favorite part, and this is what normally you get only on the color and pattern cartridges, they just have, basically that's what it is, pattern paper. But with an art cartridge you get the art as well as the pattern papers that will go with it. So it'll match perfectly both the style, the subject matter, the colors, everything is perfectly coordinated so that you can really do a lot to mix and match and make your creation all in one, all with one cartridge. You can also use these cartridges in conjunction with your regular traditional Cricut cartridges so that you can color fill with all of these patterns. And then here's your color palette. So on this cartridge, these are the colors used throughout the art and the pattern paper. And you can do things with just these solid colors so that you know that matches as well. So when you look at your machine, for those of you that have not used your machine at all yet, I will not be going through all of the initial setup phase, the updating, the calibration, and that sort of thing. So you'll need to refer to your handbook for that, but we're going to turn the machine on. I have no cartridges in this one at all right now, so it just takes a minute. Here's your stylus right up here, which is what I use to control what I want to do on my Imagine. Now the first screen that comes up will give you some different options here. Now if you just want to print full sheets of pattern paper, you have that option. You can also manipulate some of your settings here. But right now we're going to go to just printing and cutting. And what you see in the beginning are stock images. These come preloaded on the machine itself. And these are great to use. Oh, I didn't mean to pick that. These are great to use. I'll show you what I like to do with them. Especially this one when I'm making cards. But what we're going to do is we're going to take our Imagine cartridge, and those go in on this side. They fit right in. And you will see the screen will pop up with your selections. Now everything I'm going to do at this point is going to be done with the stylus on this screen. So here we have the images that we can scroll through until we find one we like. And I'm just dragging them across with the stylus. I think these banners are really cute, but I've not made a banner project with them yet. I am going to do this cake, this cake with the table and the gifts. So first I want to edit it. I can press the plus sign to add it to my image queue up here. Press the pencil to edit the image. So you can go either way. Now, on the editing screen, you have a wide variety of things that you can do here. This corresponds, you can see this one's browned out. This is what it will print it all in one. So this will be your flat image that people are talking about. You'll get this whole thing printed and it will cut out around your edges. Now over here you can see the layers are all broken apart. And that's what this icon is. So if I tap that, now I am choosing to print each one as a separate layer, which will be individually cut out. Down here I can pick my sizes. I want my image to be 3.5 inches. And if I pick, oh, it's not showing you. I was going to try and show you. One side is the true size and one side is the relative size. That means that when I choose this image to be 3.5 inches and I'm cutting out the layers, each of these layers is going to be a different actual size, which is what you will sometimes see over here. So if you notice those numbers don't match, that's the reason. It's because it's showing you the true size and the relative size. Once you're done editing, hit apply. And now you can see I have one image here, which is the flat image I put in there the first time. It's going to print all as one layer. Next, I have all of the layers broken out. Now I'm going to hit next. Here's my print screen. Now I can already tell there's a problem, which is what I was thinking when I was looking at those true versus relative sizes. All of these images are 3.5 inches, so they are not going to match up when I try to put this together. So let's go back. I'm going to clear all. Now I'm going to put this all in one image in. So there's that. Now I'm going to put it in again. Tap that second one because I want to turn that into layers. So I'll go back into the pencil to edit. Now to make sure that your pieces are sized correctly, when it's on true, highlighted, that means each of these pieces is going to be cut at 3.5 inches. Since we want to layer them together, we want to make sure that we have it on relative size. And again, we'll hit next to go to our screen, our map preview. Oh, it didn't. I forgot to break it into layers. You can edit from here too. Click that. Hit the pencil. Layer it. There we go. It's on relative. Apply it. And now we can see each of our little images is very small so that they will fit together with our little table. So we know that that's going to work. Now, you have a few different options in here, so I'm just going to go over those real quick, but this won't be the only segment that we talk about this. Project quantity and art quantity. If you're doing multiples, like making a set of thank you cards or making a bunch of invitations, This is an easy way so that you don't have to go through and resize each and every one. You still have your fit to page, which will print it the size of your paper. You still have your autofill. The nice thing about quantity is that if you pick a quantity that requires more than one sheet of paper, the machine figures that out for you. You put in the first piece of paper, it prints and cuts, spits it out, tells you to load in your second sheet. You load in your second sheet. You don't have to keep track of anything. Now, I use paper tray ink paper. It's 8.5 by 11. I use it because it's just what I have in my stash. It's my favorite as far as weight goes. I tried some 12 by 12 Stampin' Up! Paper and it was too thin. I didn't really like the texture and stuff. So it doesn't matter if you're using 8.5 by 11. You just change the setting right here on your print screen, and that way you know you won't go off your paper. So my width is 11, so I'm going to back that up. My height is 8.5, so I'll back that up, and you'll see it's going to readjust for me where my images are so that nothing goes off the page. Now you can see it sent that last one down here so that it'll all fit. Now, let me back it up so you can see as I insert my paper. Funniest thing, the first time I tried to use mine, I was freaking out because I couldn't figure out how to load my paper, because automatically, just like the old Cricut, I just went right under these rollers. And it took me so long to realize, hey, the arrows mean right there. Maybe I'm the only one who's done it, I don't know, but just in case there's anyone else out there. Alright, now we're going to hit next. There's our go screen. You want to put a little bit of pressure on your mat. Very little. Don't force it under. I've noticed I have to put a little bit more pressure on my right hand corner than my left hand corner, and then it takes the mat every time, no problem. So we'll go ahead and let that print and cut, and then I'll be back to show you the result. Okay, one more thing I want to show you on the machine while you're playing with yours. Notice that I still have an awful lot of paper, usable paper left on this sheet. If you want to get the most out of your paper while you're using your Imagine, there's one little trick you need to know. Zoom in here. You'll see the load last with the little check box. It's right here. Let me show you what that will do with your images. These are the images I just cut. So when I click load last, watch how they move. Well, it's gone on to 2 sheets. So let me go back to sheet 1. You can see it moved them down into the usable portion of my paper so that I can get more use out of my white sheets, since you can't really move your cutting blade around on your mat the way you used to with the Expression. So just remember that load last, and you will not have nearly as much wasted paper. Now let's take a look at our cuts. Okay, let's look at our cuts now. Here's our first cut. You see you have a nice flat one-layered image on one piece of paper. I love the design and the coloring on these. I think they're very cute. It's very vintage, which is so hot right now. And then you also have this one, which is all of your pieces cut separately. So you just place them together. And this is a different layering style than what people are used to with the regular Cricut. It doesn't have the same, each piece of your image is a different layer, like the bow and the box and that sort of thing. But it is still layering. It's a little bit more similar to paper towel, but you still get that three-dimensional look with a little bit of depth to it that you would with the Cricut layers. I use this Scotch quick dry adhesive. It's got a nice tiny tip, and if things are really super tiny, then I'll use my Close to My Heart two-way glue pen, or I think there's one by Zig that you can use. And then if you really want some dimension, you can always use foam tape or foam dots for each of your pieces, and that'll really pop them up off the page and makes for a very cute card. And at the end of the video, you'll see a couple of different examples of that. So get those Imagines going. If it's still in the box, please get it out of the box. Get it calibrated, get it set up. The calibration can be a little frustrating, but take your time and get it done because it will be so worth it once you're done. Now I can tell you that on mine, show you on here, it does not necessarily line up perfectly, and sometimes I mess with it, but the bottom line is, you know, nothing's going to be perfect. It's not an exact science. And if you look at something, a die cut that you buy at the store, you're going to see the same thing. So I don't think that that's anything to worry about or anything unusual. It certainly doesn't bother me. It didn't bother me on store-bought cuts, and it's not going to bother me on this. So just relax and have some fun with your Imagine. I'll see you here next week, and don't forget to leave a comment so that you can be in the giveaway. I'm giving away some stick and spray and stick away. For those of you that go through mats like crazy the way I do, these two products are phenomenal. You can save your mat and use it over and over and over. I use the stick and spray several times, and then if it gets too gunky, I use the stick away. About 30 seconds each step. It's so easy. So leave me a comment on the blog and be entered for a chance to win a can of each of those. See you next Friday.